Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is LettucePlate, and welcome back to the Teamfight Manager 2 Let's Play. We are continuing on here with the demo. We don't have too much longer, if I remember correctly, not too many games more, but I did go away the past couple days and kind of think more about what I could make in terms of videos about this game once it is made unavailable. The Steam page says that the game will no longer be available to play on the 20th. I don't know if that means that it's just not going to be available for download or install, or if the demo literally won't work, like if we won't actually be able to play the game at all for some reason. But if that is the case, I do have some things that I want to kind of get done, some other small projects to do once the Let's Play is over with regarding some of the characters, and I've been experimenting quite a bit with different comps and things like that, but that'll come at a later date. I'll talk about all that stuff kind of more in the future and everything. We're gonna go ahead and proceed. We have a new character added to the cast, Heavy Infantry, and I think he's a pretty good character, so we'll try and incorporate him in one of our upcoming games. What I will say, let's see, which characters do I have? All right. There was a team comp I wanted to try, but I don't think it's available until right near the end. I think it's the very last character that's added that I think is pretty interesting and offers a unique playstyle. But anyway, for now, let's go ahead and let's see what the opponent bans. I'll go ahead and get rid of the Executioner. There's a Pole Warrior ban. And then typically what I like to do is I like to do a throwaway ban, so I kind of ban Priest and just see what the AI ends up banning. I do want to play Heavy Infantry, but I'm going to go ahead and lock in Archer. I want to play an Archer jungle game. All right, so we are able to get the Heavy Infantry, and then I think we could play Ninja into the Soldier, but I think we've done that quite a bit already. Let's go ahead and get a fighter. I wanna test something out with you guys. I'm gonna go with a full 4 tanks plus Archer jungle. There's something I've been kind of thinking about, experimenting about. Ooh, this is a very pokey lane. They're gonna harass my bot lane quite a bit. The jungle role in this game, I played some more games outside of the series just to kind of get some more feel with some of the characters that I didn't know too well, and to test different strategies and stuff with the pre-match tactics, this screen. And I think the jungle role is the one that I think you can kind of base a lot of your carries around. Like, you can put your carry unit in the jungle and then kind of put a bunch of utility elsewhere in the lanes, and that seems to be a really, really effective strategy. Okay, we don't have any assassins, so I won't do any split pushing. I don't necessarily want to invade early, so we'll go ahead and leave all of this off. We are going to go with Initiator and then Pressure for top lane. This is one of the big things. I did a lot of testing with jungle focus versus gank focus, and from what I've gathered, there's not too much of a difference. This doesn't change the behavior of the junglers very much, but I think it does change it, and I do prefer having gank focus put on. And the reason for that is if you have jungling focus enabled and you have a character that clears the jungle camps really quickly, a lot of times they'll kind of sit around and not do anything. They'll try to avoid ganks rather than do a full clear and then look for a gank while the camps are down, and then once the camps respawn, go back to the camps. They kind of just sit there and do nothing if there's no camps to take. So I pretty much always leave this on gank focused, almost every single game. And this doesn't take away from them clearing their jungle camps at all. They still will mostly either full clear or clear 3 out of 4 of the camps. And then with the gank tendency, I found a disadvantaged lane to be very strong, mostly because it means I found the tendency to mean that if somebody's getting pushed in under tower this game, and I think this game is going to be my bot lane, it'll see that they're in a gold deficit just because they have fewer minions killed, and that'll be the lane that they decide to gank. And if they kill all the minions, that means they're likely pushed up to the tower, and the gank is like pretty likely to succeed. So that's why I have this selected. I do like choosing specific lane in very select cases, but that doesn't really apply this game. I'll go ahead and set all of the rest of my instructions here. This will be an initiator. So we're gonna have 4 initiators. Any melee champion I like leaving on an initiator, unless it's like ninja or pole warrior. I like having on assassin, but everything else I like having on initiator. And then with Archer specifically in the jungle, I read some of her abilities again, and her ult actually has a stun on it, which I didn't notice the first time around of reading her spells. So she's actually quite a good initiator because both of her spells have a dash built in. And if you leave this on initiator, she still like kites and will run away from fights if there's people like trying to chase her down. Like she'll still kite properly like she's an ADC, but she actually can use the stun like aggressively to engage, and it actually works really well. So this is what I'm gonna go with. We will go ahead and try it out. They have 2 ranged champs, which is pretty unique from what I've seen from the AI. Normally they take all melee champions, but let's go ahead and get into the game. There's a lot of discussion about the strategy and the draft and everything and the specific instructions. Archer does clear pretty fast, so she's going for 2 camps. Looks like she's going for 3 camps. And Swordsman and Pyro have 2 of the best early wave clear in the game. We get a taunt under tower there, and the tower one-shots the Swordsman. A very nice taunt from Knight. Taunted him from out of the tower range and lured him back into the tower. That was kind of crazy, actually. A really good first blood there from Knight support. All right, we have 3 people grouped up here in the bot lane. Their Swordsman looking for a little mid lane poke. I decided to put my fighter in the mid lane because he has a really effective like gap closer and stun against the soldier. The soldier is hovering around down bot lane, still level 1, isn't really collecting much of the experience or farm, and that's a character that really, really likes getting as much experience as possible. It's one of the few characters in the game that I actually prefer to leave on passive laning style, because I don't want her to leave the lane at all. Like she really wants to benefit from levels. Every 3 levels she gets more attack range, so it's really important that she gets to level 6 as fast as possible. A very nice kill in the mid lane. I think Archer is one of the strongest characters in the entire game, guys. Definitely the strongest range character in the game, and I don't even think it's close, really. We have some more action going on top lane. Heavy Infantry, a lot of CC in his kit. Both of his spells CC. He has a knock-up, a single target knock-up, and an AoE slow. Oh my gosh, another CC chain under the bot lane tower. Knight taunts the Swordsman into tower range, and he just figured he was dead and kept running forward. Okay, we're going for a kill in the mid lane. 1v2 kill for fighter. Jackie Love taking it to Angel in the mid lane. 2 LPL legendary players there by name. All right, their Berserker doing some jungle clear. Their Berserker has a lot of CS, and their Swordsman is really struggling this game. 0-4-0 on the support Swordsman. Really don't think that's a good role for him. He's one of the best minion killers in the entire game, and when you're the support character in this game, you give all the gold from the minions to the other unit that's in your lane, so he's not even getting the gold from killing all the minions. Our top laner here going for an invade, steals the camp away from the enemy jungler. Really valuable there. Their Swordsman trying to get any levels whatsoever. That wave won't even get him level 2, and I think we will be able to 2v3 this down here simply because the Swordsman is just so weak. There's the kill onto him. Not sure if we're going to go down. Another kill onto mid lane, and the tower goes down. It's 7-0 on the scoreboard, and we are just dominating this game right now. This style of composition with 4 melee champions and a carry in the jungle, I think this might be the strongest team composition in the entire game, guys. You can pick any carry you want, really. You can do ninja, you can do pole warrior, you can do archer, cavalry. There's more characters that we haven't unlocked yet that are some more good jungle carry characters as well. but I really do think this is kind of the way to win on the demo in the 5v5s is to have a bunch of utility, bunch of CC, and then just have a really high DPS character in the jungle. All right, we are on the Morguard though. We have all 5 players here. The red team is trying to approach. 1 kill already. The soldier goes down as well. There's AoE on the ground. Their pyro isn't dealing any damage at all. Misses another spell. We've slain the Morguard. We got the last hit, and it looks like we're going to clean up the team fight as well. And oh my god, this is an absolute stomp. 11-0-1 on the Archer jungle. That is just ridiculous. I don't think I've seen a game this one-sided in the entire demo that I've played so far. Maybe like 1 or 2 other ones, but I can't even remember it. This is obliteration. Oh my god, we are just walking up and just one-shotting them. This is insane. I think the biggest determining factor right now in how the games are going from what I've experienced is just the draft and making sure you get as many like top tier characters as you can all put together on the same team. And unfortunately for them, I think Soldier, Pyro, and well, Soldier and Pyro in specific, I think are pretty bad characters. And Sword isn't bad, but especially in the support role, I think he's pretty much useless. So I think the enemy team just honestly had a really bad team composition. And oh my gosh, that damage from our heavy infantry. I know he's a tank unit, but man, he did a lot of supplementary damage too. That's really nice. Whenever I have these team compositions like this, I told some people that I know that Monk and Knight bot lane is actually a really good bot lane, and it doesn't really make sense because neither of them do any damage. Like they'll always have some of the lowest damage in the game. Monk can do damage sometimes, but normally not really. But I think the utility that both of these characters provide is just crazy. And if you put them on aggressive initiator, they can really like CC chain people. And like, don't get me wrong, they're not going to normally kill someone under turret like 3 times in laning phase like what happened in that game, but it kind of lets the rest of your map just like pop off in team fights. I really like having a carry in a solo lane and in the jungle because they get the most experience. Like the bot lane is always going to be the weakest part of the map in this game with just the way that the golden XP works in that lane. So I kind of just like having all of my utility just kind of stick them down in the bot lane and let the rest of the map kind of be the primary focus of the team. All right, Cloud says let's learn about statistics. Here you can review various statistics related to matches. Utilizing the stats of players and champions will greatly help in planning your game strategy. Okay. So this only has like the last 2 matches from what I'm seeing be counted here. I wish this was included for all of the 5v5s or like all of the all of the matches that we've played. Maybe it is only the 5v5s and I'm just misremembering. Maybe we've only played 2 5v5s. But anyways, guys, I think the bigger story of this segue between games is that we have unlocked Demon. I think this is probably the second best character in the game, only behind Cavalry. I did get to actually play a couple games with Cavalry. I think I played 1 game with Cavalry that I was able to play it on red side. Actually, the AI didn't first pick it. They left it open and they picked Pole Warrior first, and I got to actually play a Cavalry game. And then I played about 3 more games against Cavalry. And I am pretty confident in saying I'm pretty sure Cavalry is just the standalone best character on the demo, but I don't think he's entirely unbeatable because the first couple of games that I played against him, it did seem as if he was pretty unbeatable. I tried a couple different strategies against him, and I think this character scales like okay. It's not like the hardest scaling character in the game, but remember all those laning phases where Ninja was killing people like 3 and 4 times in the first like 2 minutes of the game and like tower diving people and everything? This character also does that, but he has like twice the movement speed of Ninja, and he has a stun, and he has damage that scales based on his movement speed, and he builds a bunch of movement speed items. So he's kind of like your team's primary engage, primary damage, and he has the strongest early game in the entire game. He does have a stronger early game than Ninja. I actually got to see them lane 1v1 against each other, and the Cavalry actually won. So Cavalry is just the best character in the game, but I do think that Demon is the second best character in the game, and I'm going to show you why, and we're going to go into our next match here, and we're going to hopefully try and prioritize Demon. I'll leave, should I leave Executioner open? Just for a change? I'm just going to ban the Enchanters over and over again, because I'm never going to play them, and the AI never picks them, and they're the weakest two characters, the two Enchanters, so I'll leave Executioner open if I'm planning on going a mostly melee team composition. But we'll even leave Archer open for the opponent. We're going to first pick Demon. They're going to pick Pole Warrior Berserker, so they don't even take Archer, which is crazy to me. I think what I want to do... Archer is just, like, the best character, but I don't think I'm worried about that. I think the two characters I want in this rotation are Heavy Infantry and... I almost was going to pick Fighter and then Knight Monk on the next rotation again, you know, the exact same thing as last game, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's mix it up at least a little bit. I want to pick Ice Mage, and then I'll figure out what to do for an ADC character, because my Ice Mage is going to go mid lane. So maybe we do Fighter Monk, or do we just do Monk Knight again? I think we do Monk Knight again in the bot lane. Alright, so they put their Pole Warrior in the jungle, that's fine. And then they do have their Executioner bot. Executioner Fighter is a very strong bot lane, so we'll leave our utility champions down there in the bot lane. What do you call it? Ice Mage into Lancer is, I think, a bit Lancer favored, but it's not the worst matchup in the world. And guys, I promise you, this game is not going to be about any other character than Demon. So we are going to go... I think I'm actually going to set my Demon to do bottom split push. I think normally that would work. I'm going to leave it off for this game, though. And then let's see... Early game, we're not going to be setting up any dives. So let's leave this aggressive pressure. We're going to leave gank focus, initiator, and disadvantage lane, so that's all going to be the same for the jungle role. For this, we'll do aggressive, and we'll do a midline for our Ice Mage. Pressure is fine. And then aggressive, initiator. And then what I want to do with this, actually, is maybe we'll do jungle intervention in our bot lane specifically. Because we want our jungler to be fighting like nonstop as much as possible. What I will say for Demon is the big spike is level 3. Level 1, he's not bad, the level 1 spell. But level 3, where she gets the transform, is where it gets ridiculous. But just a quick rundown of the spells. I'll go ahead and start the game, but a quick rundown of Demon's spells, and I'll focus the camera on her, is that her level 1 spell is a skill shot very similar to Ninja's Shuriken, where he throws the Shuriken out and then dashes to the target. But instead of dashing to the target, if the skill shot hits, it will switch places with them. So you'll see what I'm talking about when she uses it. It's actually a pretty cool looking spell, like the graphic of it. So there it is. That's the position reversal spell. Her level 3 turns her into a demon and just gives her like a huge buff, basically. It makes her move fast, attack fast, deal more damage. It's like it doesn't change anything about the champion itself. It just makes her go ballistic, basically. It's like a Aatrox ult sort of thing. Where she just gives herself a ton of stats. Alright. She wasn't able to find any ganks off the first clear, but The jungle camps are coming back up. We are pathing to bot lane with 4 people. This looks pretty promising. The skill shot misses. No root from the Ice Mage. Was kind of hoping there was going to be some CC there for us to deal some damage with, but that's A-okay. We're looking to get level 3 on our demon, and then she is going to pop off. I'm fairly confident of it. So there's the ult. See, she turns herself into this satanic demon-looking character and gets a bunch of damage, a bunch of movement speed. It does have a duration, so it is going to time out, but she uses it off cooldown. Yep, so she just used it again. She won't stay like that the entire game. I was surprised she recasted it so quickly. I don't know how that worked, really. But she uses it in the jungle like this, so once she turns into this form, she clears the jungle, like, insanely fast, and when she's in team fights, she can absolutely just pop off. It's crazy. Misses the position reversal there. I'm pretty sure that's what Urgot's old ult used to be called. It was something like the position reverser in League of Legends. We do have a demon ult here going on to bot lane. Misses the position reversal, but still gets the kill. I'm going to go back to auto camera now that we've taken a look at demon a little bit. Got to show you guys. She is diving the mid lane. Missed that spell yet again, but that's all right. It's a much slower early game than the last game. I think our knight killing the enemy swordsman in the last game over and over again was a pretty unrealistic thing to expect to happen multiple times. Their bot lane is pretty low damage. At level 3, they'll have a little bit more damage, but it's probably why normally executioner lanes have a lot of kills in them, but it's been relatively quiet so far. The monk is doing an absolutely amazing job of constantly CCing the enemy team and healing themselves up. It looks like he might go down here. Yep, they just had a little bit more movement speed than him right there. Our demon's chasing the pole warrior into her jungle. She uses the untargetable spell to get away, but only for a second. They are just run down. And I think one thing that makes demons so great, guys, is movement speed in this game is absolutely king. Movement speed just dominates the AI in terms of chasing people down who are low HP for kills. And Demon, as well as Cavalry, have the best movement speed like in the game. They just have the best chase potential. If people are low HP, it's basically guaranteed that Demon and Cavalry are going to go run them down and kill them. It looks like the enemy team is on the Morguard. They did actually start that up right on spawn at 330, but they are kind of low level. Our demons here a little bit early, and they get pulled into the team and killed. Not good for us. Our heavy infantry does bring one person down. Monk and Knight are going to do a lot of CC, a lot of heals from the Monk, and we are just so tanky. They don't have enough damage to deal with how tanky our characters are right now. We can just CC them over and over again. The Monk heals are crazy, and it's just a death ball, guys. We're just stat checking their entire team, running into them as a ball, using heals and stuns to just keep them in place. And we are turning on the Morguard, but we have very little damage. We are able to take it out, though. Really big buff. That buff is super good, especially if the outer turrets are still alive. That buff will help you break the outer turrets, and that's a huge gold swing for the team that gets that first. Our demon does find a kill under the mid tower, hanging around for a long time. Hopefully he's just gonna recall. Okay, there we go. He is going for a defensive item. I see this quite a lot. He's going for a tank item second. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes they do opt to go for that. I have been looking a lot more into the item system in this game, and it is pretty sophisticated. There's over 60 items in the game. I actually went through and kind of like tried to count any unique items that I saw. We do have a bit of a team fight here in the mid lane. We're sieging mid pretty hard with that Morguard buff. We have minions pushing their top relic tower as we're grouping mid. And hopefully we can get this outer tower down while the buff is still active. And we do get that. We do get hooked in, though. Demon isn't in their ult form, and they do go down from the Executioner hook. We do return a kill, though. We are quite a bit stronger gold-wise than them, so it's not the end of the world if our demon is not with us at the fight every time. But if they are outnumbering us, I think they should be okay. But we are turning it around. I don't know who's dealing the damage on our team right now. This is a little bit crazy. It must be the heavy infantry who's actually, like, dealing the damage and killing people. The damage is coming out so slow. It looks so silly. I'm going to exit full screen right now and actually check the details tab and then go to damage dealt. And our heavy infantry has done 11,000 damage. That's ridiculous. All right. I did not expect how much damage that character was going to be dishing out. But I think most of it is because our demon has been dying like first in the fights and not really doing the cleanup. There we go. Okay, the demon's gonna get some kills here for sure, I think. He keeps missing that position reversal, but it doesn't really matter. As soon as he turns ult, he can just run them down like he's doing right now all the way into their fountain. Yeah, this game is over, guys. All right, it looks like this wasn't much of the demon showcase as it was the heavy infantry showcase. That unit's actually pretty crazy. Demon tried to catch up to it in the end, but absolutely the MVP is Noxious in the top lane on the heavy infantry. A crazy performance. The Ice Mage did like next to no damage. Kind of surprised with that, but we got 2 more guards. I don't think I've ever seen someone lose a game when they've gotten 2 more guards. That's pretty much a guaranteed win from my experience, but happy to get that one on the way. Thank you for your hard work following the coach training process so far. Finally, we will conduct an official practice match against another team in a best-of-3 series. This practice match will mark the end of your coach training. Okay, yeah, so this is the last section of the tutorial, so we will do this in the next episode, guys. We get our final character added to the roster, Vampire. He is a mage. He's almost a carbon copy of Vladimir in League of Legends, guys. It's almost the exact same champion. So we will definitely be using him in the best of 3 in the next episode. I had a pretty cool comp kind of planned around him that I like running, so we will save that for the next episode. But in the meantime, if you are enjoying the demo and you got through to the end of the demo and you were kind of upset that you couldn't play any more games, that you had to go through the 2v2s, 3v3s, and 4v4s to get back to the part where the game actually feels kind of, you know, interesting and there's some strategic diversity in the 5v5s, I will be coming out with a guide on how to permanently kind of set your save state so that you can go straight back to the 5v5s once your tutorial ends. Once you're done with the demo and it sends you back to the title screen and you can't play anymore, or you have to start a new game rather from the 2v2s. I know how to entirely bypass that. I saw someone put a guide on it on Reddit, and it was awesome. It worked perfectly. But I'll come out with a guide for that so you can just jump straight into the 5v5s over and over again, and you don't have to create a new save every single time. But until then, this has been LettucePlate, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Catch us in the next episode, which will be the last part of the demo Let's Play. So looking forward to that, guys. All right, bye.